The Elephant and the Ant. Once upon a time, there lived a big elephant in the jungle. As the elephant was much bigger than all the other animals, he would always trouble them. In the same forest, there lived a family of ants. They were a hard-working family who always would go to gather food. One day, as they were walking, big mean elephant threw water on them. The ant got angry and asked the elephant to stop troubling others. But the elephant shouted at the ant to shut her mouth or else he will walk over all of them. The next day, the ant noticed the sleeping elephant. The ant thought of teaching a lesson to the elephant. She quietly climbed onto the elephant's trunk and entered it. Once inside, she started biting the elephant. The elephant shouted because of pain. He tried everything but couldn't get the ant to stop biting him or come out of its trunk. Such an enormous elephant became useless ahead of the tiny ant. The elephant pleaded to the ant to stop biting. The ant stopped and said, "Well, I hope now you know how others will feel when you hurt them." The elephant said, "Yes, I do. Please stop now." The ant stopped and came out of his trunk. The elephant apologized to the ant and promised never to disturb others again. Moral of the story: never underestimate anyone and hurt anyone. Always be kind to smaller or weaker creatures. Once upon a time, there lived two cats near a village. They were close friends. They played together, slept together, and went everywhere together. Suddenly, one day, there was no food for both of them. The two cats went in search of food. They found a loaf of bread. They both wanted the bread as they were very hungry. They began to fight over it. One cat said, "I found it first, it's mine." Another cat said, "No, I found it first, give it to me." A monkey in the tree, seeing them fighting, said to himself, "It will be great if I get that bread. It looks yummy." He came to the cats and said, "Friends, why are you quarreling? I will settle your fight." Both the cats agreed to his proposal. The monkey split the bread into two uneven pieces. One piece was large and the other piece was small. Then he ate a portion from the large piece. But this made the other piece larger, so it took a bite from the other piece. Likewise, the monkey ate the whole loaf of bread. It climbed back the tree, laughing at the cats. Two foolish cats couldn't able to eat anything. Moral of the story: when two people fight, the third one always gets the profit. The Grasshopper and the Ant. It was a beautiful spring day, and a grasshopper was playing in a green grass field. In that field, he noticed a line of ants marching along carrying some grains of wheat. The grasshopper asked, Where are you going with that big lead?
We are taking these grains in our nest.
But it's such a beautiful day. Come and have fun with me, said the grasshopper.
No, I think you should come to work with us. It's going to be a long winter with lots of snow. You had better start storing your food now,
replied the ant. Why? Why worry about the winter? It's only spring and there are lots of food everywhere, said the grasshopper. The grasshopper did not listen to the ant. All through the spring, the grasshopper did nothing except eat, sleep, and play. He became quite fat. Then the summer came. Ants were busy collecting food for winter, but the grasshopper did nothing but eat, sleep, and play. He became even fatter. Later, autumn came. Ant advised the grasshopper to collect food for winter, but he didn't listen. Winter is not here yet, and when it comes, I'm sure I will be able to find some food. A few weeks later, winter came and the snow began to fall, just as the ant said. The snow was very deep. Ants were all snug, warm and comfortable in their nest with lots of good food to eat. The grasshopper, however, had trouble finding food. He was very hungry and miserable cold all winter. By the time winter had ended, the grasshopper had learned a valuable lesson. Next spring onward, the grasshopper went out to gather food with the ant. Moral of the story: work today and you can then reap benefits tomorrow. One day, the crow found a big piece of cheese and sat on the branch of the tree. Fox saw a crow sitting on the branch of the tree with a big piece of cheese in his mouth. The fox said to himself, "The cheese looks delicious and I'm very hungry. Let me take it from the crow." He went to the crow and said, "Good morning. You have a lovely piece of cheese with you. Can I please have a bite too?" But the crow refused. The fox begged to the crow, but the crow wouldn't listen. He just sat quietly and ate his piece of cheese. But the fox didn't give up. The fox returned to the tree and said to the crow, "Are you the same handsome crow that everyone in the forest has been talking about? You look beautiful. You also have a lovely black feathers and a sharp beak. You have a beautiful voice too. Everyone in the forest is praising your voice. Can you sing a sweet song for me?" The fox saw the crow swelling with pride. The crow was thrilled to hear that everyone in the forest was talking about him and praising him. He suddenly forgot all about the cheese and began to sing. As the crow began to sing, the piece of cheese fell down from the tree and the fox caught it. The foolish crow lost his cheese and sat crying on the tree alone. The fox ran away with the cheese. Moral of the story: be aware of flatterers. One day, a fox was roaming in the jungle. It was a hot summer day. The fox was extremely thirsty but could not find any water. He kept on walking and suddenly he saw a well. He leaped on the well's wall to check the water. He lost his balance and fell right into the well. The well was very deep, and the fox doesn't know how to get out of the well. He got really scared and screamed for help. Nearby, the goat was passing the well. When she heard the fox, she went to peep inside the well. The goat saw the fox and asked, "Hi fox, what are you doing inside the well?" The fox said, "Isn't it too hot outside? I just came into the well to cool myself off. Why don't you also hop in and enjoy the cool and refreshing water?" Not even thinking for a second, the goat jumped into the well. She enjoyed the cold water and drank to his heart's content. After some time, the goat stops and asks the fox, "How are we going to get out of this well?" The fox replied, "If you stand on your 2 feet and push me up, I can manage to reach the top of the well and get out. After that, I will get you out." The goat once again, without thinking twice, does as the fox said. The fox got out. The goat asked, "Hey fox, what about me? How would I get out?" The fox said, "I guess you have to think about it on your own." And the fox left the place. Moral of the story: look before you leap. Hasty decisions can lead to wasteful outcomes. Once upon a time, there lived a very cunning and mischievous fox. He used to speak to other animals sweetly and gain their trust before playing tricks on them. One day the fox met a stork. He befriended the stork and acted like a very good friend. Soon he invited the stork to have a feast with him. The stork happily accepted the invitation. The day of the feast came, and the stork went to the fox's house. To her surprise and disappointment, the fox said that he could not make a big feast as promised and just offer some soup. When he brought the soup out of the kitchen, the stork saw that it was in shallow bowl. The poor stork could not have any soup with its long bill, but the fox easily licked the soup from the plate. As the stork just touched the soup with the tip of its bill, the fox asked her,
How is the soup? Don't you like it?
The hungry stork replied, "Oh, it is good,
but my stomach is upset and I can't take any more soup.
I am sorry for troubling you.
The stork replied, "Oh dear, please don't say sorry. I have some health problem and cannot enjoy what you offer." She left the place after thanking the fox and invited him to her house for dinner. After exchanging pleasantries, the stork served soup for both of them in a narrow jar with a long neck. She was able to have the soup very easily with her long bill, but the fox obviously could not do. After finishing hers, the stork asked the fox if he was enjoying the soup. The fox remembered the feast he himself had given the stork and felt very ashamed. He stammered,
I would better leave now. I have a tummy ache.
Fox understood his mistake and felt sorry for his behavior and left. Moral of the story: we should not act selfish with others. As it said, what goes around comes around.
Once upon a time, there lived a miller. He was poor and had 3 sons. Before he died, he gave his mill to the eldest son, a donkey to the second, and cat to the youngest. The youngest son cried on his misfortune. "Master, please don't cry. Just lend me a pair of boots. I will make you happy and rich," the cat said. The youngest son decided to believe the cat and give him a pair of boots. The cat jumped into the boots and ran into the forest. He hunted rabbits and took them to the king. "Your Majesty, please accept this small gift from my master, the Marquis of Caraba," said the cat. The king was delighted. The cat continued to bring gifts for some days. The cat heard that the king was planning to drive in the carriage with his daughter along the riverside. So the cat asked his master to go to the river and bathe. The youngest son took his clothes off and went into the river. Just then, the king's coach approached the riverside. The cat shouted, "Help! Help! My lord, someone took his clothes and left him in the river." The king, who heard the cry, stopped the carriage and asked his men to get him a new dress and help him out of the river. The king offered him a ride. The cat was planned, as plan has succeeded. Now he had to arrange a big castle for his master. The cat went to the farmers working in the field and said, "Hey people, if anyone asks you whose field this is, say it belongs to Marquis of Carabas. If you do, I will kill the augury that troubles you." Later, when the king's carriage reached to the field, he asked the farmers whose field it was. They answered, "It belongs to Marquis of Carabas." Finally, the cat came to the castle that belongs to the scary ogre. The cat said, "I have heard you can change yourself using magic, but I think it's a lie." The ogre got angry. "I can prove you wrong. Just tell me what you want to see." The cat asked, "Can you change into a big animal?" The ogre changed into a great lion. The cat said, "Okay, I agree, but can you turn into a small mouse?" the ogre changed into a mouse. At that moment, the cat caught the mouse and ate it. Later, the cat invited the king to the castle and said, "This is the castle of the Marquess of Carabas." Later, the Marquess of Carabas got married to the princess. They all lived happily never after.